We set out for a scenic winter road trip across the UK. What we got was something else entirely. We're talking about the kind of ice and snow you see in documentaries, but happening right here on our own roads. This journey turned from a picturesque drive into a full-on survival mission against the elements. We thought we were prepared, but nothing can truly prepare you for the moment your car starts sliding on black ice on a motorway with trucks barreling past. This wasn't just a bit of snow. This was a battle. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to see the unfiltered reality of driving through one of Britain's most extreme winter spells. No staged scenes, no exaggeration, just raw footage from inside our car as we navigated frozen motorways, whiteout blizzards on tiny country lanes, and face-down road closures that left us stranded in the middle of nowhere. There were moments we genuinely questioned if we would make it through. If you've ever wondered just how treacherous UK roads can get in winter, or what it's really like to drive through a proper ice storm, then you need to see this. This is our real-time account of our journey, a warning and a guide all in one. So, buckle up. We're starting our journey in the Scottish Highlands, where the first signs of trouble began. The forecast said light snow showers. What we got was a full-blown blizzard that appeared out of nowhere. Look at this footage. The visibility dropped to near zero in a matter of minutes. The gentle snowfall turned into a wall of white. On these narrow, winding roads, with no barriers on the side, every corner was a blind guess. We were crawling along at less than 10 miles an hour, and even then, you could feel the tires struggling to find any grip at all. This is the A9, one of Scotland's main arteries, and it was quickly becoming impassable. You can see other cars pulling over, hazards flashing, unsure of what to do. The gritters were fighting a losing battle. The temperature gauge in the car was dropping fast, and we knew the real danger wasn't just the snow, but the ice forming underneath it. This is where your heart starts to pound. You're hundreds of miles from your destination. The light is fading, and the weather is only getting worse. We had a decision to make. Push on or find somewhere to stop. But in the middle of the Highlands, somewhere to stop is not always an option. We decided to keep going slowly and carefully. Big mistake. As we descended from the higher ground towards the central belt, the snow turned to freezing rain. This is arguably worse than snow. Everything it touched turned instantly to a sheet of glass. The windscreen wipers were freezing to the glass. The road surface became a skating rink. Look at the lorry jackknift on the side of the road up ahead. That was a sobering sight. It brought home just how dangerous this was. We weren't just on a difficult drive. We were in a genuine emergency situation unfolding all around us. Then came the motorway. You'd think a major route like the M6 would be clearer, safer, but it was just a wider, faster, and more terrifying version of the country roads. It was a sea of brake lights and chaos. The problem was black ice. You can't see it. You don't know it's there until you're on it. And when you hit it at 50 or 60 miles an hour, you lose all control. We had a moment, and we caught it on camera, where the back end of the car just stepped out. It was a split second of pure panic. Correcting the slide felt like trying to tame a wild animal. It's a miracle we didn't spin. You can see the tension inside the car. We barely spoke. All our focus was on the road, on reading the surface, watching the cars ahead, anticipating every small movement. This is the part of a road trip they don't show you on Instagram. It's not beautiful landscapes and happy scenery. It's white-knuckle stress, a constant state of high alert. We saw multiple accidents, cars spun out into ditches, and emergency services working flat out. The journey that should have taken a few hours was stretching into an entire day, and we were still hundreds of miles from safety. Let's talk about preparation. We thought we were prepared. We had a winter emergency kit in the boot, blankets, a shovel, food, water, a full tank of fuel. We had winter tires on, which probably saved us from a serious crash. But the most important preparation you can have is mental. It's about knowing when to stop, knowing your limits, and not taking risks. We were pushing hours. The temptation to just get to the destination is strong, but there were several points where we should have pulled over for the night. Our advice? If the forecast is this bad, just don't travel. It's not worth it. No appointment or plan is worth risking your life over. As we crossed into England, the conditions didn't improve. The Pennings were a wall of ice and wind. Road closures were now widespread. Our GPS was useless, constantly trying to reroute us down roads that were blocked. We were relying on live traffic reports and sheer luck. At one point, we were diverted onto a B road over the moors. It was completely untouched. No grit, no other cars, just a blanket of deep, drifting snow. We had to reverse for nearly a mile after coming face to face with a 5-foot snowdrift blocking the entire road. That was a low point. It felt like we were trapped. The feeling of isolation is intense. There's no phone signal. You're alone with the howling wind and the crunch of snow under your tires. You start thinking about what would happen if the car broke down. How long would you last? It's a sobering thought. This footage here shows us trying to dig ourselves out after getting stuck in a drift. It was exhausting work in freezing temperatures. Every car that passed there, weren't many, was a fellow survivor. A shared nod, a flash of the lights, an unspoken understanding of the hell we were all in. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, we started to see signs of civilization. As we moved further south, the snow began to thin, turning to slush. The temperature crept above freezing. The relief was immense, like a physical weight being lifted off your shoulders. The last 100 miles of the journey were on wet but clear roads. It felt bizarre, like entering a different world. It was hard to believe that just a few hours ago we were battling for survival in a polar landscape. The contrast was stark and unsettling. Arriving at our destination, we weren't triumphant. We were just exhausted, mentally and physically drained. Looking back at the footage, it feels almost surreal. Did we really drive through that? It serves as a powerful reminder of the force of nature and the vulnerability of our modern infrastructure. Our scenic road trip turned into a lesson in humility and respect for the weather. So, what's the takeaway? If you're planning a winter road trip in the UK, be over-prepared. Check your vehicle, pack an emergency kit, have winter tires if possible. But most importantly, check the forecast relentlessly and be prepared to cancel your plans. Your safety is the only thing that matters. We were lucky. Others on the roads that day weren't. We hope this video gives you a real, unfiltered look at the risks. It's not meant to scare you, but to inform you. Stay safe out there on the roads. Thanks so much for watching our journey. It was certainly one we'll never forget. If you found this video interesting or helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more real-life adventures. Let us know in the comments if you've ever had a similar scary experience driving in winter. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.